Hi, this is David Sanders, and I'm here today to share with you a continuation of my How to Get More Business seminars. And today we're going to be going over the findings of research, asking hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs and professionals across the United States what has worked to make money for them and their business. Here we have the survey results for you. Here's what we found, is that with referrals, we recommend that you use all your contacts, whether personal or business contacts, any kind of social or business contacts, and it's a 5-star method of getting business. And there are several different referral programs. One that's worked very well in the past has been what's called the Care Enough to Share referral program. This program is designed to give people your business card and write on the back of it, or have stamped on the back of it, or printed on the back of it once you get it dialed in and you know what works. But you just write on the back of it some offer. Like the dentist example I gave earlier. Exam, x-rays, and consultation for $5. That's your offer. Now the offer needs to be crafted with some intelligence. For instance, with a dentist, you go, okay, how bad can it be? With a car repair shop that says a free oil change. I've tried that. I tried a $5 oil change and couldn't get anybody to come in for it. Because the thing is, first of all, the biggest button or biggest reaction that you get in auto repair is trust. They don't trust you. And so this plays right into that negative button. The only way this guy's going to make any money is if he goes under there and breaks something while he's changing the oil, and then tells me I got to spend $500 with him. So it's a trick. So again, you have to play around with some of these things sometimes. That's why I say don't print up a bunch of stuff until you test some things out and find out what works. And then you would ask for that referral. And just another thing on that is it's very important when you tell somebody that you've got this offer for them that you put an expiration date on it. I found by actual test that an expiration date of 2 weeks is ordinarily the best expiration date. If somebody's about to leave on vacation and they're not going to be back for 2 weeks, fine, add another week or two to it. But do not be reasonable on this point. I was delivering a seminar. I was a top consultant in a medical consulting firm, consulting dentists and chiropractors and optometrists and so forth. And went to Manhattan and did a big lecture. We had 100 doctors in the audience. And so I said, this Care Enough to Share referral program that we've described to you and that you've been doing, we have a little pitch that you have the staff do and they give the card out and things like that. We give 2 cards to each person, one for them to use and one to hand out, or 2 for them to hand out. Anyway, how many of you have been using this? So just for ease of numbers, 100 of them stood up. It was very close to 100. Okay, now if you should be getting 5 to 10% response. So that means that if you hand out 100 cards, you should be getting 5 to 10 people calling up to make an appointment or to find out about this. And so if you're getting 5 to 10% response, would that be acceptable for you guys? Would you think, hey, that's terrific? That's far, far better than almost anything you can do in marketing. Yeah. So again, remember, referrals is the top of the list. So sit down if you're getting 5 to 10% response. And I had, of the 100 people, I had 80 of them sit down. So we had 20 people still standing. I thought I'd run a little test. Of the 20 that are still standing, if you're using a 2-week expiration date and you're still not getting that percentage, please sit down. And only had 2 people sit down. Everybody that didn't work on was using either no expiration date or too long an expiration date. You've got to make it a hot potato right now. Here's an offer. Take advantage of it, or it does not work worth a nickel. So it's not worth the card it's printed on if you don't put an expiration date and make it a buy now. Okay, newsletters. I'm a big fan of newsletters, but only about 2.5 stars. Only about half the people make money off of it. This group did a little better because you're a little bit better at communicating than most groups. But newsletters are very important because they are perceived not as an ad or an advertisement actually, but as something that would be useful information. And you can put your ad in there and so forth, and ever so often stir the pot with, hey, buy this now. But the newsletter is a very effective thing. It also helps elevate you in the eyes of the marketplace as being somebody that's not just a slick sales guy, or that's what you're out there helping, and it's a beneficial thing. A couple of things on newsletters. You need to make them easy to confront, easy to read. I see people that send out newsletters that I have to scroll down 2 or 3 screens to get to what it is they're trying to say. And if I'm busy, I'm not going to scroll down 2 or 3 screens to see what it is you got to say. So don't put such a big headline up at the top that people can't see, or a big masthead and pictures and stuff that people can't even see what it is that your headline is and so forth. Your headline is basically an advertisement for the ad or an advertisement for the newsletter. So make sure they can see that at one glance. Letters to the database, 4.5 stars. You guys beat that a little bit by having 100%, but my experience is it's an extremely strong thing, and I recommend it very highly.
That's 4 or 5 stars?
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah. Postcards and flyers, 3 stars. 60% of the people make money with postcards and flyers. This group is a little bit weak in that department.
Is that holding still true today?
What's that?
Yeah, I know someone who could fix that for me.
Oh, good. Yeah, go Jack. Recently I've been exploring this for a particular client, and talking with somebody that's very successful in that industry. They said that they never get a response from the first 2 postcards. They don't start getting a response till the 3rd postcard out. Most people give up after the first one, so that leaves all the money on the table. Special events, and I could go into special events for some while. I had a client once who dreamed up a really excellent way of special eventing. He was a very high-end financial planner, had a very wealthy client base, and so he would take them out to Santa Anita Raceways in Los Angeles for horse races. And he would have a special booth that was all catered and that kind of stuff with prime rib. Boy, he was paying $50-$60 a head, and paying for their parking and valet park, and he was paying maybe $75 a head for these heavy hitters to come rolling in there. And he would have all of his wholesalers who were investment specialists that have certain products that they're selling to these certain tax benefit products and so forth. And so he would have all those guys come out, and he would have them pay for it. They sponsored it. You want to come and talk to my Mrs. Gottbucks and her family? Okay, let's ante up here. $5,000 to be able to send a couple of people over. And what a brilliant idea, because they would be up there milling about and talking to each other and sitting there eating the prime rib, sitting next to the sales rep that's been wanting to get his teeth into Mrs. Gottrocks for a long time. Pardon the kind of crass viewpoint of it. But here he is sitting there talking to her, and then the first race comes up. Oh, it's first race. So they either run over to the televisions or run over to the railing or something, and they're sitting there watching the first race. And how long does a horse race last?
2 seconds. A couple of minutes.
2 minutes and 15 seconds later, oh, wow, the bay won and we didn't. Okay, fine. Hey, I won something good. Okay, now sit back down, and it's another, 20 minutes before the next race?
Yeah. That's perfect.
See? And then at the very end of it, the guy that's doing it, the professional, runs down with his staff, and they stand out next to the winning horse, and they get their name on the thing, and it's now they put it in their office and say, well, if you're our client, this is one of the things we do. And it was a lot of fun. And so I've seen people do all kinds of exciting special events, and because they're so variable, I'm not going to rate it, but you can also take that and look for sources of publicity while you're doing it. So you have the local paper come out and run an article on how unique this is and how much fun everybody had, and of course you invite the reporter to the $75 special deal too, and they're real excited about that. So special offers, we talked about telemarketing. Oddly enough, 2.5 stars. We didn't do so well at that, but on the average, half the people make money on it. Email and social media, again, these are fairly variable, but the email, oddly enough, is 3.5 stars. You guys do much better with email than the average Joe, but emails make money. Now, if you'll take a look at what I'm showing you here, this material gives you exactly what it is that makes money that's proven. Now, there are a lot of people that come to you and a lot of things come in your email box that are inviting you to try some additional things. And do those work? I don't know. Some of them do, some of them don't. My basic policy is I may miss some ships that get out there and do terrific, but I'm not going to take a ship that sinks. Or if I think a ship might sink, I'm not going to put too much of my money on it. I'm going to at least make sure that I put most of my effort and so forth into ships that don't sink. And these are ships in terms of working with your own client base, customer base, patient base, same different words for the same kind of thing. The people that come to you for your business, and those people are going to benefit from you using these things because these are the things that have worked. Now, what else do you need to do to get your marketing on track?
Social media?
Yeah.
How many stars? Social media?
Social media is such a variable. I don't have any one number on it because are we talking LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter? Are we talking Facebook for company page? Or what are we talking about? And so this is its own world and its own probably half a dozen seminars to zero in on it. But as social media, I view it as something that is nice to do. In some businesses, as I say, they can take off like mad, but other businesses can spend a ton of money and time on it thinking that they are now marketing themselves when in actual fact they're doing something new untried as yet for their business. So if you can find out some things from reputable sources of what has worked and try to duplicate it exactly, that will help you quite a bit. For instance, the little video that I just had Carrick shoot of everybody. Well, you can take that little video and you can stick it up on your Facebook page. You can put it up on YouTube, put a link to it from Twitter. You can send it out. You can put it on your website. There's lots of things that you can do with it. That some of those things are going to work, and some of them are going to have your friend saying, "Oh, you look pretty good. Hey, I didn't know you had it in you," or whatever. Yes.
I have a question. I've used Google for many years, and I found that I get quite a lot of business from that. Where does that fit into your little category thing here?
Okay, she's asking about using Google. For the last many years she's used it, it worked, and so how does that fit? Well, right now we're talking internal marketing, which means to your own database. Yeah. So this is another longer seminar on how to get business from outside of your own existing client base.
Okay.
So what else? First thing you need to know is that we have an over-communicated society.
Yeah.
Now this poor lady actually sits there representing almost all of us. Anybody doesn't have an email box that kind of looks like that?
My wife doesn't let me have one like that. I have to clean it out every day.
Every day, that's good. So I was going to invite anybody whose inbox doesn't look like that to please leave.
It would look like that if he didn't have his wife make it.
That's right. It's his wife's fault, so he can stay. But the basic idea here is this. Everybody is over-communicated to. And so I get people worrying. Hey, I sent something out last month. Do you think it's too early for me to send something else out again? Well, between that last month and now, they've gotten 50,000 emails. They probably forgot all about you by now. So you're going to have more communication than you think.